So when the state property ideas started coming down, like, did that exist before Rocafella wanted to sign a group out of Philly?
No, we put state property together.
Right.
You know, like Chris and E from Nicetown, Owen Sparks from West Philly, and Petey Crack from my neighborhood. So, you know, they wanted to sign everybody, and then they put us together and made us a group.
Because now the story has kind of come out more basically like through Gillie and stuff of basically how at one point Rocafella wanted to sign Major Figgas.
Yeah.
And then Gillie basically was kind of like offended by the deal, didn't feel like it was a good deal. So he takes a step back, and then basically Rocafella kind of like has this deal regardless, and they decide to put together the whole state property thing. And,
it was basically like that. You know, it was basically like that.
And was there ever conversations where they basically told you guys that you weren't allowed to be cool with Major Figgas at all, or that you were even supposed to diss them and kind of go at them?
Like Jay and them real niggas, they would never say nothing like that. Like, you know, it was just like tension from being from the same city, and, you know, people knew they had that opportunity at first. You know, everybody knew that.
Because now there's a lot of stories coming out, like about Jay refusing to play at certain concerts if Major Figgas were going to be on the bill, and you know, just different stuff that in terms of that rivalry that I think a lot of us weren't really like aware of, especially because state property was so big. I didn't even know who Major Figgas was during this era. You know, I know now.
Major Figgas was big in Philly. Like,
right.
They were super big in Philly. And as far as that, I never heard none of that. Like, I don't know nothing about that. And me knowing Jay, I don't think he would do nothing that petty.
Right.
You know?
I don't know though. I feel like Jay's got a petty bone in him, right?
I don't know. That's, you know, I don't think nobody gonna stop somebody from eating.
Definitely. Okay, but so then the group kind of comes together, and would you say that there was like a lot of real chemistry within the group, or was it kind of like a group that just came together because everybody was nice at rapping? Because I feel like that's kind of like a shaky foundation to build a group on. Like, was there tension early on?
No, it was definitely a lot of chemistry. You know, we are from the same city, and at the time, State Property like brought the city together. Like, once we came together and made a group, even in the jails, like, you know, before North Philly and South Philly ain't fuck with each other, but like state property really united the city. Like,
yeah, and it's crazy because even when I talk to younger rappers from Philly and stuff, when I'm talking to like 19, 20-year-old dudes, they still know that there was this very important era, even if they maybe weren't really alive to be appreciating it. And I think that's part of the value of having a group, is that the group is able to kind of represent something bigger to the audience rather than just an individual.
Yeah, most definitely. It's very important.
Right.
And like I said, everybody, we represented the whole city. And when we came together, you know, it was just love. You know, it just clicked. Then we had the movies to go with it and the clothing line. It just made sense, you know.
Right, definitely. And do you think that things would have kept going strong for the group as a whole if the Rocafella breakup never happened?
I definitely think so. We still, like, you know, last year was my 20-year anniversary. So February 25th, we had a huge concert in Philadelphia, sold it out. And it was the first time the whole state property performed together in years. And, you know, it was dope. Then we wound up doing a Roots picnic that year. And March 8th, next Friday, is Bean's 25-year anniversary. So we all going to be there performing with him, too. So,
oh, that's fire.
You know, we trying to make it happen.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I listened to the whole first project again today while I was in the gym. And it's definitely a classic. It's definitely like stood the test of time. And I noticed that you post about it on Instagram, and it feels like you have like a real soft spot for it. Like it's indicative of a very specific era during your career.
Yeah, most definitely. Like, you know, it was a very pivotal moment for me in life in general. Like, you know, I went straight from the block to that. Like, you know how now people come home from jail and they got like re-entry programs, and it's like things that they want to do, maybe like being a carpenter or like whatever it is. I feel like when I came home from jail, Rocafella and State Property was my re-entry program. Right. You know, because I literally went straight from house arrest to New York and started recording with Jay and Beans and everything.
Right. How long were you locked up that time?
6 months.
6 months.
Yeah.
What was that for?
Possession with intent to deliver.
Okay. And so you get out of that, and the situation's already kind of like lined up and waiting for you. Like Beanie had been communicating how dope you were to them.
I had to go to like a halfway house program type thing after I got out of jail, and I had to stay there for 90 days. And I'll be talking to Beans, and he'd be like, yeah, I'm in L.A. When you get off house arrest, you're going to be right with me. And then he's like, yeah, I'm in Miami. It's lit down here. As soon as you get done with all that shit, you're going to be right with me. Then I was right with him after that. So,
right. And so going from jail to like being in the studio with Jay and being around all this rich shit, like what was that like for you emotionally?
I mean, it was like, finally, like I'm getting my shot. Like, you know, this is what I wanted to do my whole life. You know, so it was a blessing, you know, and I was just trying to take full advantage of it.